to the Elite Eight. They did it for the first time, which was great. They had a bad shooting day against North Carolina and got knocked out. But, proud of those kids. I mean, those kids are not highly recruited kids that made something out of it. A couple Long Island kids, a couple twins from Center Reach were a major part of that team.
It's amazing. You know what? And to see how dejected they were. I mean, you understand because, you start to believe, hey, maybe we can actually go all the way. But the fact that they got to the Elite Eight, a number 15 seed, like you said, Cinderella story, about to become the Masters champion. Nobody expected it. They outshined everybody. They really, really fired up local college basketball. People who didn't even worry about college basketball, New Yorkers and New Jerseyans, were watching with amazing passion. And it was just a fantastic ride. I mean,
it makes it fun. Now we have a Final Four. A little tainted that Villanova, one of their best players, got knocked out for the rest of the year. He tore his Achilles with a minute to go in the Elite Eight game. So you feel bad for Justin Moore and for Villanova. Jay Wright's a great coach. He'll try to come up with a scheme to play Kansas. Duke and North Carolina on the other end, one of the biggest rivalries in all of college basketball, 8 miles apart. Two teams that do not like each other, but all the kids kind of know each other, and it's going to be pretty exciting. Nobody gave Carolina a chance. Duke with Krzyzewski's last year, Villanova with the injury, and Kansas is the only number one seed left in the tournament. There's a little bit of a story for all 4 teams. It should be exciting, and all 4 teams, wear blue. A little interesting fact. I don't know if it matters or not. They wear different shades of blue, but everybody's wearing blue and white pretty much for the most part. Kansas has a little red in there. That's about it.
So for all the ladies who did the brackets, if you pick blue, you're in good shape right now.
You're in great shape.
Nice. By the way, the kid from Villanova, not only is he not going to be able to play in the Final Four, but from here on in, his golf game is going to be ridiculous. He's going to slice all the time. He's going to quit the game.
Basically, you cut that. You had to cut him in the tendon, but you know what? You're right though. He will never be the same. Justin Moore, who the defensive stopper and a go-to scorer, so that just puts a little bit of a hurt on the Wildcats. But we'll see what happens. 3 games left. We'll touch on who won it all next week when we get into the show. Obviously, we're going to do a show Sunday in between. Where we just do our baseball draft, so we'll kind of get that in between. Let's get to baseball, man. Enough of this. This is baseball time, buddy.
I got to tell you, bud. Felt so good to be watching baseball. When I was out of town, I got to watch the Blue Jays and the Tigers play, which is cool. I got to see Spencer Torkelson play. I got to see Riley Green play. What is it? Aki Abu or Badu or whatever?
Badu.
This guy is legit. If he can cut back on his strikeouts, he's going to be a really good player. Detroit,
they don't even frown upon that anymore. They don't even care if you strike out a lot. That's what's sad.
Right.
We used to make fun of Rob Deere.
Right.
And now, and Dave Kingman even further back. And now these guys are encouraged to strike out 200 times a year.
So anyway, I was able to get a picture with Biggio and with Bichette.
Biggest thrill of their lives, I'm sure.
Absolutely. And David Jansen. So I got his autograph as well.
Absolutely. Listen, it's good stuff. It's all good.
But anyway, so I was down there, and it just felt good to be watching baseball. Of course, the season was supposed to start tomorrow, but it got postponed for a week. And
not too bad, though. Not too bad. We're not too far back.
Not too far back. Looking ahead, we're Yankee fans.
We are.
I heard, dude, did you hear anything? I mean, I was on my way home just now watching my son sit on the bench, and I was listening, and they said something about Gleyber Torres playing shortstop. Have you heard anything?
I've heard that they might use him a little bit there, but I didn't think he was going to be the full-time shortstop by any stretch because, the kind of Falefa seems to be the guy.
Yeah, Falafels is going to be the guy that's going to play there all the time. But, I mean, you're just starting to get Torres straightened out at the plate. I mean, he's mashing the ball right now this spring.
I mean, that's the whole thing is that for this team to be successful, Torres has to bounce back. I mean, with all the things they did, Donaldson coming in to play third and Rizzo re-signed and all that stuff, the big loss. I mean, they lose Sanchez, who was an enigma.
Dirty, yeah.
But Torres coming back and hitting like he can would be a real major difference maker. You don't know what to expect out of Hicks coming off the injury. Judge should be fine. Stanton should be fine. But, I mean, Torres is the guy that you really need to kind of bounce back. And it's like, why would you mess with him? He sucked at shortstop. He couldn't hit because he kept taking the field back to the plate with him. Why are you doing it?
I don't know.
It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
I'm getting Higgy with it. He's been mashing the ball this spring, too.
Listen, I'm not going to say that I'm sold that he's going to be the answer for us, but
no, he's not. He's not.
But listen, you know what? Listen. If the pitchers are better because he's playing,
right,
I'll take my chances right now.
We'll see what happens. It looks like the for them the rotation is going to be Cole, Severino. Was it Montgomery?
Yep.
Talon, and then Nestor Cortez.
That appears to be the starting five right now. I get nervous about it when we get to that 5 spot with Nestor. I know he didn't do badly the last year, but
right.
I would love to see a stronger arm come in there that's going to get strikeouts for us a little bit. I think Talon could definitely improve. Montgomery showed he was pretty good last year for the most part. And Sweeney basically gave us a glowing endorsement of Severino. So
right, even though he's been getting hacked big time so far. Oh, and by the way, my son's sitting to the side. Looks like Steven Ridings might not be a Yankee after this week.
Really?
Well, part of the problem is they have to get down to the 40-man roster.
No doubt about that.
And he may have to be one of those guys that gets cut. I mean, he can't play now anyway. He's hurt. But he's the kid who came up I guess he was up for about a week.
Yeah.
Threw the ball 100 miles an hour. Still has some issues with his control, but he's a local boy, so that was kind of cool. But they may have to leave him available, and they may end up losing him. But
that's the whole thing. Someone's going to pick him up, and he'll be because he throws 100 miles an hour. That's what it comes down.
Right. That's basically what they're looking for nowadays. So, other side of town, over at
we'll call it Queens.
Yeah. He throws 100 miles an hour. He's 6'5", he's 6'8" tall. So he's everything that they want, and they figured they could fix the control. But now we go over to Queens, over at Citibank Park, and our New York Mets. And I got to tell you, Mets are looking good right now, bro.
Hey, listen, you go into any time you're going to go in there and you're going to face DeGrom and Scherzer 1-2. It's scary as heck, And then you sit there and you throw in the fact that the bats are there. I mean, guys like Alonso, are monsters. Lindor, you expect to bounce back. There's a lot of talent on this team. If the bullpen can hold up, this team could be really good.
Well, they can hold up because they don't have Familia anymore. But here's something else that I find extremely funny. Conforto turned down 5 years, $100 million last year. And this year, he's lucky if he's going to get 10 for one.
Yeah, that's pretty much where he is. He's going to have to bet on himself in a 1-year deal and hope that, he breaks out a little bit because he's a peaks and valleys kind of hitter.
Right. I mean, he could when he's hot, he's hot. But, we'll see what happens. Where is he going to sign, though? I mean, I have a feeling he's going to be like a Marlin or something like that, or not on one of the top teams. I mean, the Marlins are going to compete, but they're not going to compete for the championship. You know what I'm saying?
Could you see the Yankees making a run at him?
I would love if the Yankees made a run at him, but
I think he'd actually play really well in the Bronx. Just a hunch.
Right, especially if he was just hitting against right-handed batters.
Exactly. You let him play against that short porch. I think he would do pretty well.
Right.
It's not the old stadium, but it's still a short porch.
We may need him because, Hicks still has another week to get hurt and be out for the year. So
pretty much. I mean, we're not that far away. And when that happens, then we have really no defensive outfield. It'll be great.
Well, you know what? You got I like LeCastro, man. I know I keep on harping on that. He's a scrappy kid.
Well, listen, he's a great player, but not great player. He's a good player, I should say.
Good player.
But, he's only going to play based on injury.
He's not a stud. He's a piece. But you know what? Also, if
the Yankees get injured a lot too.
Yeah, if we don't go after Conforto, if you need him, we can always get Gardner again.
Pretty much. And Brett's that scrappy guy too. You like guys like LeCastro. You like guys that play smart baseball because the team needs it. Not everybody can be the home run hitter. Not everybody can sit there and never get a productive out or never go the other way with a guy on second. it's nice having a guy that gets you the cheap run here and there. That's what you need.
And we've said this numerous times. Last year, the Yankees got hot when they had everybody hurt and they had the scrappy players and they were scrapping for wins. They had a great run.
They brought up the kids. Everybody was playing hard. They were finding ways. Guys were hitting homers that didn't normally do it. It was a lot of fun to watch. They were more fun to watch then than they were with the full lineup.
So anyway, your fantasy draft, a lot of you already did it. We're going on Sunday, like we said. I did a practice draft. My team's looking good in the practice draft.
You are a star. There's no doubt about it.
No doubt about it. So it's actually pretty interesting. I don't know if I have it in front of me, but there were like 4 guys that kept their number 1 picks. So
yeah, I was one of them.
You're one of them. I've got pick number 3. I've got your second round pick. So that would be like,
you don't have my second round pick. You have my 4th round pick.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. I got Alfie's.
Yes.
Alfie's pick. So, and he's ahead of you. So that's even better.
Absolutely. Now, I was going to have to trade my 4th and 5th, but I held on to my 2nd and 3rd. I was very close just to talk about, because we have a league where we have 5 keepers and you're only allowed to keep 2 of your top 5 draft picks. So I kept Trey Turner with a 1 because he's worth it.
Everybody says he's the number 1 guy. And by the way, in some of the drafts I've been seeing and stuff, and I don't know why, but I know why, because he's not going to be available till June. Tatis is dropping down to the 5th round.
I obviously protected him as well. I'm seeing Acuna drop to the 2nd and 3rd round as well because he's not ready till May.
Right.
Which is surprising to me because he's Acuna. But
Matata.
We're only allowed to keep like the 5 guys and the 2 and 2 people in the top 5, so that, and you only keep a guy for 3 years, so you can't really hoard anybody. We try to keep it where you didn't get Mike Trout as a rookie and kept him for his entire career type thing.
Right, and that's leaving an amazing amount of talent at the beginning. One of the things that I noticed, a lot of people kept pitchers, in our league, and if they're a value, if you have. One guy kept, not that Justin Verlander isn't a stud, even coming off the Tommy John surgery, but he was a 24th round pick.
Yeah, so you hold on to him, you get him for the last round. You would have done it anyway.
Right, but, some people kept Marcus Stroman stuff, probably a mistake. And, even if he's like a 10th round pick, that's way too high for him.
One guy like me kept Logan Webb.
Right, but Logan Webb is actually... He's in the top 50. He's in the top 60, I think, of players.
I know he was a 10th round pick. I kept him because I needed to have 1 starter on my team.
Right. So, but Walker Buehler's available in our league.
Yes, he is. So is DeGrom. So is Scherzer.
So is Garrett Cole.
Aaron Nola is available.
So is Zach Wheeler.
Wheeler's good. Berrios is good. Rob Ray. We have a bunch of good players in our league.
A lot of good players. So, I was like looking over, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? And one of the things that I realized, I thought, well, everybody's going to go for is going to go for hitting because they kept pitchers. They don't have stud pitchers, though. So my thought is that maybe those stud pitchers go very, very fast.
No, I think you're right. I mean, listen, I know on my team, I don't pick till the 2nd round because I kept Turner. And I'm looking at obviously either a power hitter or a power pitcher. If I can't get one of the top 4 pitchers, I don't go pitcher there. I'll go for the best bat I can find.
Right.
And wait till the 3rd round for the best pitcher available. But
yeah,
it's tough though. I don't know. I ended up having like the 13th pick. And that's once we go through the 1st and the 2nd round. So it's going to be interesting to see what bats are gone, and what pitchers are gone.
I'm going 3 and I'm going 12, so I'll be picking just ahead of you. And just so you know, if one of those stud pitchers is still there, he won't be there for you.
I couldn't appreciate that anymore.
Yeah, that I know for sure. But
well, let's talk first base. Let's start off with that.
Absolutely. Why don't we take a peek? I got my old man glasses here. Now, one of the things that I'm kind of like looking at the list that I got, and I like to use USA Today's sports special edition fantasy thing. I've used it all through the years, and I'm really questioning some of their rankings.
That's one of the things I've noticed too, is that some of the picks seem to be out of whack, in my opinion. Now, and I have to go back and research saying, is this guy hurt and I don't realize it, or
Right.
what's the story?